Celeb Clope presents. 2 names. 8 slots each. 1 Billboard Hot 100. And Africa is winning, loudly. If you've been sleeping on what's happening in the Nigerian entertainment space right now, consider this your wake-up call, because Burna Boy and Tems are not just making music, they are rewriting history with every single drop, and the world? The world has no choice but to pay attention. Let's talk about the numbers first, because numbers don't lie and they don't take sides. Both Burna Boy and Tems are currently sitting at the top with 8 entries each on the US Billboard Hot 100, making them the African acts with the most entries on that chart, ever. Not this year. Not this decade. Ever. That is not a small thing. That is legacy territory. That is the kind of record that gets talked about in music textbooks, and honestly, we need to give these 2 their flowers while they're still breathing, because Nigeria raised them and the world claimed them. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Burna Boy didn't just stack up 8 Billboard entries and call it a day. This man has debuted a song on the Billboard Hot 100 for 6 consecutive years, 2021 straight through to 2026. 6 years. No gaps. No drought. No creative slumps. Just relentless, undeniable dominance. He is the first African artist in history to pull that off. Think about what that actually means. While trends were shifting, while algorithms were changing, while the music industry was restructuring itself almost every single year, Burna Boy kept showing up on that chart like he had a reserved seat. Because at this point, he basically does. Now, Tems, baby, where do we even begin? Because this woman came into the scene and she didn't just knock on the door of global music, she kicked it off its hinges. Her voice alone is a whole cultural statement. There's a rawness to it, a spiritual weight, something that feels ancient and futuristic at the same time, and that is not something you manufacture in a studio. That is God-given, and Tems knew how to use every single bit of it. Her run on the global stage has been nothing short of phenomenal. Free Mind put the world on notice. Then Essence with Wizkid happened, and when Justin Bieber jumped on the remix, the conversation changed completely. Suddenly, everyone outside Nigeria who had been sleeping was scrambling to Google who this woman was. Then came Wait For You. Future and Drake brought her onto a track, and she didn't just hold her own, she elevated the whole song. That's the Tems effect. She doesn't blend into collaborations. She transforms them. Multiple Grammy Awards later, she is firmly positioned as one of Africa's greatest exports in music history, and she's still young. That part is almost unfair to everyone else. Now, Burna Boy's collaborations read like a who's who of the biggest names in global music. Justin Bieber, Ed Sheeran, 21 Savage. These are not features that happen by chance or because someone is doing someone a favor. These happen because the artists on the other side of the table recognize talent that cannot be ignored. Burna didn't go beg anybody. They came. And when Last dropped, it became something beyond a hit record. It became a cultural moment that introduced millions of new ears to Afrobeats in a way that felt completely organic, completely authentic, completely Burna. That is the thread connecting both of these artists: authenticity. In a music industry obsessed with trends and virality, both Burna Boy and Tems have built their international presence on the foundation of who they genuinely are. There's no code switching, no softening of their Nigerian identity, no diluting of the sound to make it more palatable for foreign audiences. They showed up as themselves, and the world adjusted. And that matters beyond the music. Because every time Burna Boy trends in the United States, every time Tems performs at a major international award ceremony, every time their names appear on a Billboard chart, it signals something bigger to the next generation of artists coming out of Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Ibadan. It tells them that there is no ceiling. That the sound you grew up with, the slang you speak, the stories you carry, all of it has global value. All of it deserves a stage. Nigeria built them. Afrobeats carried them. And now they're holding doors open that were never meant to be open for artists from this continent, and they're holding them open wide. The growing influence of Afrobeats on the global music scene is not a bubble. It is not a moment. It is a movement with deep roots and serious momentum, and Burna Boy and Tems are not just beneficiaries of that movement, they are among its most powerful architects. This is only the beginning of a much longer story, and Celeb Clope will be here to break down every chapter as it unfolds. The collabs, the controversies, the milestones, the moments that matter in the Nigerian entertainment industry. We don't do surface level here. We go deep, we go real, and we bring you the stories behind the stories. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel is your front row seat to everything happening in Nigerian entertainment, and you don't want to be the last one to know. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think is making a bigger global impact right now, Burna Boy or Tems? We read every single one. Stay locked in. Celeb Clope never misses.